Attack Funk. I'm Jade, and this week we finally got that Hustle episode to happen. So, hello.
Yes, I do exist.
Mm.
I've come out of hiding.
With a very fancy new computer.
With my second son.
Mm.
Yep, he's been born in this world for a week now.
Ooh.
It's a beautiful thing. Like, I don't know. I think like the most like aggravating thing about like building your own computer is like just like the troubleshooting process, but like it's also the most satisfying thing to just like figure out like what's wrong with your computer, and then like find solutions to it, and then to have it actually start running and doing everything you want it to do. It's just nice.
Yeah, like I don't know anything about computers, so like you could describe what the graphics card and stuff do,
right?
And like maybe I figure Zen would know. I'm not sure how many other people on the site would know what all that stuff. Probably a bunch of them, actually.
Yeah, no, I mean like up to like just maybe like a few months ago, like that, like all that stuff just kind of didn't really mean anything to me. But like the last computer I got that I built, I did have like my friends help me out a lot. Basically, one of my friends basically built my computer for me. And this time around, they were like, "You got to be a big person and do it yourself." We'll talk to you and like help you figure things out, but you got to do it yourself. And I'm kind of glad they did that because like now I have that experience, and now the next computer I build, I don't think I'll ask anybody for help.
Yeah, so you just have to get like the component list, and then
basically.
Are they all like interchangeable, or do some
all
not
the parts?
work? Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, some parts are like, certain parts, like, are gonna be, like, built with, like, other parts in mind. And so, like, everything should be, like, listed. Like, the motherboards should, like, tell you which graphics cards they, accept, or processing chips they accept. And vice versa. There's only really, like, a few big things that go into a computer, which is, like, the processing chip, the cooler, the, like, hard drive, the video card, and then the power supply. So and then like the motherboard itself. So it's like 6 components. I think the really intimidating thing that like a lot of like when it comes to building a computer, it comes from like just the wiring. And the idea that like you have to like ground yourself while building the computer because like static is a huge thing that will like just murder.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, like there's a few ways to ground yourself on a computer, but like if you don't do that, like the random static off your hands will just like fry every like component in the computer.
Oh, okay. So do you have to like do it in a, I don't know, room with no carpeting or something?
No, you can do it in any room. You just have to like have like anti-static bands or like plug the computer in, but like not have its like power supply like active or anything like that.
Yeah, and with like the power supply, you'd have to figure out how much power it needs, and does that change like I don't know the voltage or anything?
Yeah, some power supplies are just like more powerful than the others.
But do you have to like look at what your components are and based on that figure out what kind of power supply it'll need?
Yeah, basically like how like much like power does like your other components like need. And then like you pick like you kind of base that on like the need of your power supply.
Okay, so it doesn't have something like
if this doesn't
formula
make sense,
for
keep it yeah, if this doesn't make sense, keep in mind I did wake up like 30 minutes ago. I apologize.
Yeah, I mean, I'm also kind of killing time because my phone decided to upgrade its Android just now. Looks like it's almost done, though. It just hit 100%. I'm sure you're gonna hear some chimes as the LG thing decides to start loading up. So if you hear noises, that's what that is. I guess in the meantime, I am now the proud owner of 5 LEGO display cases. I had 4, but I just bought a 5th one to put all my DC figures. Because I've got one for Marvel figures, I got one for Star Wars figures, one for a bunch of other figures, and then I got another, because I got a couple of them on clearance. They were all like tie-in products to the Ninjago movie. But it's just like an acrylic display case with 2 tiers and a bunch of Lego plates on it. So I got one of them, I just pulled all the plates out and stuck amiibo figures in it. But then I decided I wanted to get one for my DC figures, so I bought another one on eBay, and it arrived today, so I've been organizing that. It's mostly Batman, but that's most of what they offer for sets.
That's exciting.
Mm.
I didn't realize they were like tailor-made kind of like display cases for like that kind of stuff, but it makes perfect sense now.
Okay, well, the phone decided not to boot up. It's just
oh boy.
I mean, it still says Android is upgrading, but I just it went black and I hit the power button and now it's just back on the screen. It didn't go through the whole reboot process, I guess. But it still says upgrading. So
well, this is the magic of radio. This is live radio. You know? Or it won't be live when like people listen to it.
Yeah, but I might leave it in because it adds variety. It's not just questions all the time. Now it's exciting. Life experiences.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, good. It did save that I had the tab open with questions on my Chrome on this. So okay, let's see. What's it doing now? That's the wrong page. It sent me back to page 24. I'm supposed to be on page 23. Or is this 24? Wait a minute.
Oh, I thought we were supposed to be on page 25.
25. Oh, wait, it's loading up an old version. That's weird. Ah, there's page 25. Yeah, because there were 2 questions from Eugene at the end of page 24 that I didn't read last time. I read everything else, the 10 Revan questions there. Yeah, Revan's kept asking questions even when I haven't had an episode, so... Or not a
they're a
question
dedicated
episode,
listener, and they're a curious soul, and we thank them for that.
Yeah, but Eugene asks, "Your hair is great. What do you use?"
I think my hair's awful, to be honest. And like,
yeah, I mean that I didn't know if
anything.
I mean,
I don't know if that's like a targeted question.
Yeah, I don't know if it's targeted at me or if he's referring to both of our hair. Because I know my hair has gotten compliments, but
yeah, no, I'm like. In the middle of like a phase right now where like I'm growing my hair out.
Okay, yeah. So you have to. It's not quite long enough to tie back yet, and it's just in your face.
Like it's just in this awful. Well, no, it's not even in my face. It's just like in this awful like short long phase.
Yeah.
When I had long hair, people would always ask me like, "What are you doing to get your hair to look like this?" And it's just like, I wake up.
Yeah, pretty much.
I wake up.
Yeah, no, my hair, I use moisturizing shampoo, and that's about it. And I only use that because regular shampoo dries my hair out, and I hate when it's all dry, so I just use moisturizing
As long as you don't like, commit the cardinal sin of using 3-in-1 shampoo, conditioner, body wash, you'll be fine.
No.
Yeah, just use a shampoo and conditioner.
Yeah.
Like separately.
Yeah, shampoo conditioner that locks in moisture so that it doesn't get all like dry. Especially because when it dries out, my hair color kind of changes. Like it goes from being a dark brown to a light brown, and it looks kind of weird.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if that's just a sign that it's dirty, but.
That seems like something like that would happen in a video game. When I was like on my swim team in high school, there were certain kids that were like they just wouldn't wear caps, and so over the course of the season, like our pool was like so chlorinated that like
just bleaches their hair.
Their hair would get bleached, and like they would go in like kind of like with like brunette, and they'd come out with like this like sickly kind of green colored like blonde hair.
Yeah.
One of the many perils of swim was like the fact that the pool was like 50% chlorine.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was meant last week. There was one of Revan's questions was about like stuff you should bring to a pool, and I realized I don't remember the last time I went to a pool. It was definitely I'm pretty sure it was before high school, so it would be like early 2000s, probably. I don't remember though.
I don't know what it is, but I think I've ruined myself because whenever I go swimming, like now, I just have to wear a swim cap.
Like, even for, like, a short swim, or?
Yeah, yeah. It's just like I just don't feel right in water without it at this point.
Mm.
It's like such a weird tick now.
Mm. Yeah, and let's see. And Eugene's other questions directed at me was a thing from a couple weeks ago. Yes, does Mermaid Batman eat lobsters? Yeah, I assume he would.
I would assume like anything in the ocean is gonna eat whatever it wants. You know, it's like it's not like there's exceptions. Like that's just how fish work, right? Like if you can fit in my mouth, you're going in my mouth.
Yeah, and also like Mermaid Batman, it's a Batman Lego figure from they made another wave based on the Lego Batman movie from last year. So there's a mermaid one who's got clamshells over his bat nipples, and a mermaid tail, and he carries a trident. And it would make sense for him to eat lobster, because Batman in that movie ate lobster.
Right.
But I don't they made that figure, but I don't remember seeing it in the movie. I think I would have to go back to the scene where they're in the Batcave looking at his wardrobe rack of costumes, and it's probably in there somewhere. But I don't remember it. So anyway, we got Revan questions.
Yes, exciting.
His first question, best Jack.
So I look at that question and I just think to myself, well, there's only two Jacks that kind of come to mind. There's Jack from the Jack and Dexter series, which I don't feel like anybody really talks about enough anymore. Those games were really fun. And then there's obviously Samurai Jack, who just recently got the show back. So
yeah,
it's kind of a toss up between those two. And honestly, it's just a toss up between those two.
Yeah, let's see, because I wrote down answers for Revan's first 15 questions, which includes the last 10, but I didn't write down his new 5. So on Jack, let's see, I had, Jack-O-Lantern was the first I wrote down. Jack Sparrow, I don't know, I mean, unfortunately he's Johnny Depp.
Yes.
Let's see, Big Boss from Metal Gear Solid 3 is actually named, Jack is his real name. Or John. And then I remembered Jack Robertson from Dice Punk Season 1.
There is Jack Robertson, yeah.
So you were about to say something?
I said, at some point Johnny Depp owned 10 houses. And it's just such a weird, uncanny fact. It's when you get that much money, do you your brain starts working differently. You think you need 10 houses. I just scratch my head at that fact.
Yeah, I also just realized, so Jack is short for John. I don't know what sense that makes, but
really,
I'm pretty sure. Let me double check that before I start spouting shit. But I'm pretty sure Jack is a short version of John. Which would mean that Johnny Depp's name is Jack, so he's just playing a guy named Jack.
He's just playing himself.
Yeah.
He's just playing himself in another life. That more eyeliner.
Wait. Okay, so Jack given name is diminutive form of... Okay, I'm gonna have to read this whole wiki article, because this is... Okay, Jack is a male given name. In recent decades, Jack has become one of the most common names for blah-blah-blah-blah. In English, it was traditionally used as a diminutive form of John. It can also be used as a diminutive form for Jacob, or sometimes James, and its French form is Jacques.
Do you like Jack? Do you find that people named Jack in your life are just good people or what?
I honestly, I can't remember if I the last time I talked to someone who's actually goes by the name Jack. Jacks in fiction tend to be jackasses, probably, for the most part. I don't know.
Every Jack that I know ends up being, kind of a jerk.
Yeah, because it's you're using the short form of your name that doesn't really have much to do with your name. I mean, it's like Bill, but even weirder. Where Bill is William.
Right,
they just switched it to a B for some reason.
You know what? That's another name that's always kind of bothered me, is Bobby.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I don't know, is that supposed to be like baby talk? Like, Robert, you can't say rrr, so you have to say buh. Like Bobby?
Yeah,
Bobbert?
pretty much.
Billiam?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I don't know. Second question, dexterity or wisdom?
Dexterity. Dexterity every time. Dexterity is just so much more useful than wisdom.
Hmm.
Like it has so many more beneficial corresponding like skills and everything like that.
Yeah, because I went through the skills trying to figure out, like, which one... Because, yeah, Dex has a lot of, like, useful skills and, increases your, like, dodging ability. But Wisdom has, like,
Well,
insight and perception.
that's fair. Um I guess well, I mean like the other thing important thing about dexterity is that it not only does it like correspond with like finesse weapons, it's also like the ranged attack like kind of like
Mm.
skill or
Yeah.
like corresponding
Yeah, it's like those
attribute.
and it's, like, part of your armor class.
Yeah, exactly. Or no, initiative? Yeah, it's
Oh,
initiative.
it's an issue. Isn't it
hmm
also armor class that
it can
you
be for certain
factor in,
classes.
your Dex? I think, let me pull up...
For a barbarian, barbarians have a thing called unarmored defense where they factor in their strength and or no, their constitution and their dexterity.
Okay, yeah. Because it looks like standard armor class is Dex modifier plus armor plus shield plus other.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, so, yeah, I pulled out a sheet. Let's see. Dexterity, you get acrobatics, sleight of hand, stealth. Wisdom, you get animal handling, insight, medicine, perception, survival. Of those, like, insight and perception are probably the most useful. Medicine, I
Right.
guess, if you use it to heal, but usually they don't require that.
Yeah.
Except in, like, video games.
I think I would just prefer the higher dexterity. It makes me feel better. I sleep better at night with higher dexterity.
Yeah, I had wisdom circled on the things that I had picked, but now you've convinced me. I think Dex has more uses outside of perception, especially because you've got passive perception. So your
Yeah.
perception's going to be at least 10 unless you're, like, really bad at wisdom.
Although I suppose it just kind of all depends. If you're playing like a monk or a rogue, go for the dexterity. If you're playing like a druid or like a cleric, you definitely want the higher wisdom.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, like, if you're going to be playing, like, a healing class, yeah, you definitely need the higher wisdom.
Right.
And I guess, yeah, if you are playing, a magic class where wisdom is the thing that your spells are based out of, then you'd want it higher for that.
Right.
But yeah, no, yeah, Dex is probably more useful for all-around stuff. Okay, his third question. Why do people say I'm out of shape? Isn't round a shape?
It certainly is.
Yep.
Just live your truth. Just live your truth. If you're comfortable being round, then stay round.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't know that there's really an answer to that one, except for that.
Like spring is coming for me, so that means that like I'm gonna have to start torturing myself with running again. But that's just what I want to do. I don't have no one's like waking me up and making me run. I do that myself.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking I'm probably gonna have to spend more time outside because for PortCon, I think I'm trying to work up the courage to finally wear the Phoebe outfit, like, tropical bikini.
The what outfit?
Yeah,
yes,
the
yes,
tropical
yes, yes.
bikini one. Yeah, like, I want to wear that to the
Such a great
convention in
look.
June, but right now my skin's deathly pale because I'm indoors all the time. So
Yes.
I'm thinking I either need to start doing more stuff outside, or learn my way around a tanning salon. Because I've never been to one, so I don't know how that works.
I would just go outside, do it naturally. I don't know, like I naturally tan. So like if I just exist outside doing anything, I'm gonna get darker.
Yeah, like somehow
and like the tricky part is that like I need to like take my shirt off and do it like evenly so my entire torso gets tanned correctly.
Yeah.
Or else I get like that farmer's tan.
Yeah. Yeah, like that would be part of the problem. Like, I usually wear short sleeve shirts, so I end up having, like, tanned forearms and everything else isn't.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah, but I don't know, I would feel weird walking around with no shirt on, just like a regular day.
The world would thank you, Jade. The world needs more naked Jade in it.
I guess.
You're doing a service to society.
Yeah, I don't know. Just carry the shirt around, so if I'm walking to a store, and they would throw me out otherwise.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
If you're gonna walk into a Wendy's, put the shirt on.
I mean, I guess I could go to the beach. I haven't been to a beach in years either, but...
Yeah, I haven't been to a beach either, but that's because we only have, like, lakes, and then, like, all the lakes near me are, like swimming advisories.
Yeah, like I'm...
So it's like, oh, I don't want to go in that water.
Yeah, I'm probably, like, 20 minutes from the coast, I guess. I mean, it's like the next town over I can get to the coast. I just never liked the crowds, so...
Right. Plus, like, I guess, like Maine is definitely, like, a coastal state, but, like, you never really think about it like a Florida or, like, a California, where it's, like, beach culture.
Yeah, no, the beaches, depending, like, any of the soft sand beaches are usually crowded, and then, like, the less crowded ones are just rocky shores. So it's like there is a beach, but mostly it's just rocks.
Right.
Yeah. Although I did discover there's someone else on the forum. Oh, not the forum. Well, she might be on the forum. She is on the Discord. Who is also in Maine and also going to that convention. So.
Yeah, I think I did too the other day. I think I was talking to them.
Yeah.
Like last Sunday or something like that.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
It's pretty exciting.
I mean, I think if anything gives me the motivation to actually go through with this costume, it would be that. Because otherwise, if I'm just doing it for myself and a bunch of people I don't know have to enjoy it, then it's like I don't know, it feels weird. Right. Like,
have you been planning on doing this con for long, like with the Phoebe cosplay?
Oh, I know I brought it last year. Last year I went for 2 days and I wore let's see what it's been so long since I've seen Durarara that I'm Celti. I wore the Celti outfit on the first day, I wore Wonder Woman on the second day, and I had the Phoebe outfit packed up on the second day, and I thought about changing into it, and then I didn't. Because, Bright Marsh was there that day, and I figured, I'm gonna have a friend here, so I'd feel more comfortable changing into it, and then, I don't know, it was kind of awkward, like, first time meeting stuff, so...
Right.
So then I didn't. But, I'll try again this year, especially because the theme they're going... Like, the theme never really matters that much. It's just a thing they use on their decorations. But the theme this year is spoopy. With multiple O's.
Wait, isn't she... Yeah, she's like a ghost Pokemon gym leader?
Yep.
Yes, that fits.
Yeah, so because, like, I think my original plan had been, I was actually... I got a Gerudo Link outfit that I figured I could wear because it would be easier to pass in that. Because it's like, well, if I don't pass, then... it's because I'm male dressed as a female. But then they said the spoopy thing, and I was like, okay, so I can be a ghost trainer, and I can finally wear that outfit. And I mean, it is like a comfortable. Like the problem with the Gerudo outfit is it's not especially comfortable. Like the top is kind of tight, and the headdress thing is only held on by that gold band, so I could see that falling off a lot, and kind of hard to see how to put it back on unless I'm carrying a mirror with me all the time.
But like the best looks are suffering. Like there has to be some deal of sacrifice involved. If we've learned anything from season 2.
Yeah, it's just not practical. So I think the Phoebe outfit would be better for that. I'm trying to figure. Like, I've got plushies of most of her ghost Pokemon, and I'm trying to figure out how to incorporate that to be like part of the outfit.
Just build some kind of like ridiculous like invisible harness and have them float around you.
Like I was thinking, like if I could find a bigger version of Bennett as a plush, then I could either like tie its arms around my neck and make it a backpack, or just put straps on it and make it a backpack. So I can just carry this ghost doll as a backpack. Right. I guess. I don't know. I've got another 3 months to figure that out. And hopefully be have a little more color in my skin by then.
Right. I hope it gets warmer soon, but like I live in Michigan, so it's just hit or miss. It's throwing like spaghetti at a wall.
Mm.
Really, when it comes to the weather.
Yeah, like it was getting warmer here, and then it snowed hard. Last 2 days. Well, let's see. Okay, it started snowing Wednesday night into Thursday. Got like a foot of snow in that time, and then today it wasn't exactly warm. Like, it's melting enough that the roads are clear, and like my car was clear when I went out to it.
Right.
But then it started sputtering snow again.
Yeah,
So,
no. Michigan weather is just so unpredictable. It can snow in July. It has done it. And like sometimes like just the most uncanny things happen, like raining while it's sunny.
Like lake effect stuff, or
yeah, it's really weird how we get like a lot of like cold fronts that come down from Canada, and like they just hit like the warm front that comes up from like the south. They always hit right on Michigan, and it's just the like the worst weather because of it. It's a pure Michigan thing, you know. Can't live it anywhere else. Please come to the state.
Let's see. What's the next question? Oh, okay, yeah. What would you rather watch, a sunset or the stars on a clear night sky?
I'd rather see the stars.
No, same. Yeah.
I'd rather see this. I can see a sunset any day. I'd rather just see the stars because, like, I live in a place where there's so much like light pollution. You know?
Yeah, and like sunset, you're staring at. You've got all that solar glare from like sunlight in your eyes. It's hard to enjoy anything the sun's doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I used to, like, back when I used to go to church, like we would go to like a night meeting, and I would like leave as soon as it was done, and my family would stay inside, and they'd keep talking, and I'd just like hang out by the car and look at the stars, and it was nice because it's in like a rural, like even more rural than the town I'm in now. It's the next town over. There's like no major stores there, no fast food restaurants or anything, so you could really see the stars then, which was nice.
You know what's really crazy is when you find yourself in places where there is just like literally no life, or like no like human life, like not even like street lights,
like out in the woods.
Yeah, like out in like the woods, or like maybe like out west, like just like in like the middle of the Mojave or something like that. Like that's when you feel infinitely small because you can just see everything. You can see like other superclusters and stuff like that. It's really interesting what you can see just with the naked eye looking up.
Yeah, like it makes you think about like how, ancient cultures used to be able to see the stars so clearly, and that's how they could like chart them and see.
Yeah, exactly.
Like be able to tell a planet from a star just from looking at the sky.
It's crazy,
Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Is the name One Piece a reference to their bathing suits?
I never watched One Piece long enough to see like anybody in a bathing suit. So
yeah, I think I googled it, although I'm pretty sure like I've only read like one volume of the manga and seen like maybe an episode. But I think they say like in the opening that the One Piece is like a piece of 8, like it's a gold piece or something.
Right.
Like a magic coin.
One Piece is like one of those like shows where I just like I saw how long it was and I was like, I'm just never gonna invest this much time into this. Like I can't do it.
Yeah. Yeah, and like the one volume I read, like it was fine. It didn't really strike me as anything that I needed to see more of.
Right.
But,
it's one of those. It's just one of those shows that is like I guess you just have to be invested. If you're not all in, then you're not gonna like actually do it.
Yeah, and like maybe if you got in early enough, like I don't know how long One Punch Man's gonna go for, but I'm glad I got in at the start, so I can like just keep buying the volumes as they come out.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so then we got Zeno's questions. He's got 14 of them, and they're almost all directed at you. So.
Yeah, I know. I was excited for these.
Why do you like the Migos, you pleb?
Oh my god. Zeno always just like... Okay, Zeno just has like the most like, I guess like selective taste in music. Like it's weird. Like... I talk to Zeno about music sometimes, and it's just, I can never really gauge like what he likes or what he doesn't like.
Okay, so Migo
generally
is a
speaking.
music thing then.
Yeah, the Migo. Okay, so like for clarification, the Migos is like this like Atlanta like rap trio.
Hmm.
They like make a style of rap that's basically called trap music,
Hmm.
which is so like there's a few different there's like a few different subgenres of rap music. One of them being trap music, which is kind of like music that comes from like the more impoverished like parts of like African American culture.
Hmm.
A lot of it's based around like the idea of like struggling like in impoverished areas, doing whatever you can to like survive.
Hmm.
Um, you know, including like crime.
Yeah.
And so like it kind of gets a bad rep, but like it's such a quintessential kind of like story to like rap as like a genre. You know,
Hmm.
rap was created as like music of struggle. Why from African American people. So like the stories that they're telling aren't like necessarily new, but they are still like relevant. You know,
Hmm.
that's like a really deep. That's like a really deep kind of insightful look at the Migos and what they're doing.
Hmm.
Truth be told, like I like there's conscious hip hop that I listen to, but I can't constantly listen to conscious hip hop because like it'll lose its like wonder to me. So
Hmm.
there's also music that you need to listen to when you're trying to like turn up at a party, and that's the Migos.
Okay, so it's like it's struggle, but it's fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Um, It's the most fun music. Like you just listen to it and you kind of want to bounce. Like that's just and they. What's interesting about the Migos is they kind of coined this specific flow that like a lot of people do now. It's become so popular. It's called like rap. It's like rapping in triplets.
Okay.
It's kind of like the cadence of your rap is like designed around like a triplet,
Hmm.
which I can't really do because like I'm not gifted at all with rapping. I'll just make myself look like a fool.
Hmm.
But you would just have to hear it, and it's very kind of like an iconic sound in rap at this point. They kind of did they started doing that, and everybody else like followed suit, which is really interesting.
Hmm.
They'll always have that like kind of like that callback that they did that first.
Yeah, and you could include like an example of that triplet thing in the thread.
Right. Actually, there's like the perfect video I can like link in the thread.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, because Eugene and I were trying to figure out what Migos were last week, and all we could think is like the Lovecraft Migo, which is like a fungus monster thing,
oh God,
like a
I
crab
don't know
monster.
anything about that.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, it's like a
Migos
crab
specifically are
fungus from
rappers.
space.
Also, it's weird, like the question is kind of like weirdly like pointed in a sense. Like, I never got with like the idea that like liking specific kinds of music. Obviously, if the music is problematic, then you can kind of like you can make a judgment call on the person who listens to it.
Hmm.
But like Migos is just like fun music. So like and like there is like this prevailing thought that by certain members of like people who listen to hip hop that like if you listen to certain styles of hip hop, you're just kind of like lesser
Hmm.
or like you just have bad taste. And I just never like I never understand that like. There's so much music out there. There can't like it's not all bad. It's just offering different things. And kind of Migos gets like a bad rep because they like kind of are trendsetters and everybody follows them. It's not their fault that everybody kind of like does whatever the Migos is doing.
Hmm.
The Migos are making money, and so everybody's gonna naturally like follow suit.
Yeah, and the pleb thing seems weird, where it's like, if it's like music that's based out of struggle and like like,
Oh,
it would make sense to be a pleb to like that
that's
stuff. I don't know.
that's just Xeno being Xeno.
Well, yeah. The second question: why are you the Void Boy?
Oh, I don't know. I just like
Did you choose to be a Void Boy, or were you just born one?
so like the universe was born. It
Mm-hmm.
was really hot and it was really small, and it slowly kept expanding. And there's just like that. Slowly, they became like this like amount of darkness in it, right? And then like that darkness kind of like coalesced,
Mm.
and it burped, and now I exist.
Mm. Yeah, and I mean, honestly, there's more darkness than there is anything else in the universe.
Yeah, I don't know. Like why are you a dragon? You know, who knows? You know.
I mean, he does ask, "Why do you like me? I'm trash."
Oh, come on, that's a bit much. Everybody's trash as long as you're not like burning trash. You know.
Yeah. Just be normal trash.
I find that I need to like personally in my life I just need to stop trying to like rationalize why people like me and just accept that they do.
Yeah.
You know, humans are hard to understand, so just stop doing it and just accept that what's happening.
Yeah.
Or else you're just like you'll just like lose yourself in the details.
And then he asks, which funky shacker has the best butt?
Is that even a question? Is that like a real question?
I know there's been like an ongoing contest, although usually Decibel ends up winning it.
I'm in that camp. Put me in that camp.
Yeah, like I can't remember who the other contestants were, but
yeah, see, like that's how irrelevant the conversation is that you don't even remember who else was like, like who else was like standing, like put their like name in the hat.
Yeah, I guess if anyone else wants to step up to the butt plate, you can send your pics.
Yeah, don't be a coward. No, that's so that's so aggressive.
Yeah, like I don't know if I think the boob pics are supposed to go through Johnny, but there's no stipulation on who the butt pics are supposed to go to first, so you can just send them. Just
wait, hold on. What now? Hold on. Back the truck.
There was a thing on WordFunk a while back. When was that like a year? It must have been close to a year ago, actually.
Mm-hmm.
That there was like something about Leon getting unsolicited boob pictures on Twitter.
Oh right, yeah.
And then Johnny volunteered to be the one to take all the boob pictures and give comments and replies on that.
Out of the trio, I feel like if like Wordfunk was like a rock band instead of like just three dudes talking to microphones, I feel like Johnny would be like the most likely to sign like body parts.
Yeah. I think the other two would just be too awkward about that.
Yeah, exactly. I think Johnny would just like go right into it. He's like, "Yeah, sure, I'll sign your forehead or your like chest."
Yeah. But yeah, nobody has staked a claim on who's supposed to see the butt pictures first, so you can just send them to everybody.
Yeah, just get like that mass email going.
And if children's cartoons have taught me anything, butts don't have to be censored, so you could probably just post them on like Twitter or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not considered adult content. It's just a butt. How are all those Detroit sports teams looking right now?
Bad. It's bad. Oh. It's all bad. The Red Wings are the Dead Wings. The Pistons are the Pistons, unfortunately. The Tigers are in a state of rebuilding. Like, they just accepted that they were rebuilding. And then, so, like, all my hopes and aspirations are on the Lions. And, like, if history has taught me anything, it's to not believe in the Lions. They will break your heart every time. And they're breaking my heart every time. Which is it's really sad because, like, Detroit has, like, a historic kind of, like, place in, like, sports. Like, the Red Wings are an original six team. The Detroit Pistons were a dynasty. It's just, like, I don't know. The front office management just doesn't know what to do with these teams. And they're all kind of in a very large state of disrepair or just have, like, been allowed to, like, go on for so long without rebuilding. In retooling their front offices and like teams. So yeah, in short, it sucks. It sucks watching Detroit sports.
Oh. Best 80s heavy metal bands.
See, I saw this one and I was just like, that's just gonna be tough because there was a lot of good like rock or just metal that was like made in the 80s. You had like Judas Priest. Or like, you know, Iron Maiden, Metallica dropped an album. I think Ace of Spades was dropped in the 80s. It's really hard to just kind of put like a finger on like any one. Out of like just off the top of my head, I would say that probably like Iron Maiden is my favorite. just because like they are so consistent, like through time, just with the music they were releasing, and something about like that galloping bass line that they always manage to pull off in every song.
Yeah. Let's see. What are some video games you like?
I have like really niche taste in video games. Like, I like a lot of like I just play like the games I like to play are kind of a dying breed. I like playing real time strategy games, but I don't like playing StarCraft because I just don't want to. I don't want to get my hopes and dreams up in that game. But yeah, I play like real time strategy games are fun. Other than that, I kind of play like mindless shooters like Battlefield.
Yeah. Let's see, video game. Yeah,
Question 8's not even a question.
Yeah, I mean, like, I've played too many video games to just say, oh, these are some video games that I like. Like, there's just too many.
Right.
But I guess recent stuff, yeah, Mario Odyssey, I'm going through and collecting all the moons on that now. I'm up to, like, 600 something of the 836 moons.
Right.
Let's see, so I'm playing that one. I got the Halo Master Chief Collection. It's Halo 1 through 4 HD remaster. So I played through the first one again and remembered, I think, like, of the main, like, my favorite's probably ODST, like, story-wise.
Definitely.
But of the Chief games, probably the first one, because that one, it feels more video gamey, in a way. Like, it doesn't take itself quite as seriously as the later ones. Like, it has, like, some kind of, like, humorous moments, and, I don't know, it feels more fun. Like, like, you pick up a needler, and when you go to punch someone with it, you punch them with the needles, which is just goofy, but it's great. You just, like, stick needles in someone's face.
I will always just kind of be, like, nostalgic for the second game, Halo 2. That's what I did the majority of, like, time spent playing a Halo game is probably with that game. But yeah, ODST is definitely a fun game. It's definitely the most unique, like, game in the franchise.
Yeah.
Just in the sense, and I just thought it was like so cool to be like, you're not like this, like, you know, like Doom guy-esque, like, super soldier that's just running around and doing stuff because they're the best. You're just, you know, a guy.
Yeah, you're stuck with a silenced
Oh yeah,
you get like the silenced good. SMG and a pistol and limited ammo. You're not like picking up ammo everywhere, and you just like sneaking around trying not to get killed while you're investigating this city that's gotten just
you're
devastated.
To, like, find your squad.
Yeah.
In New Mombasa.
Yeah. It's like you wake up really after the battle and everything's just been nuked and it's all terrible. It's a really good atmosphere in that game. Yeah,
definitely. The soundtrack for that game is like really like moody and just like spacey.
Yeah. So and I have started replaying ODST too. I got that expansion for the Chief Collection, so I can play that one.
I think there was a conversation on like the Discord a while back where people were like, "Why do they keep making games?" And they keep making games because there's like a larger story with like Halo. Like, it's like the story is much bigger than like the games themselves, and so like they keep making games because they want to like tell this story through like games. Also because like they want to make money, obviously. But
and like I think I tried to explain the Reclaimer saga with Halo 4, 5, and 6 whenever that happens, but it's like all weird and complicated. And I think like the Halo conversation started because after I got the 4 terabyte expansion for my Xbox memory and reinstalled Halo 5. I started playing it and I remembered just how confusing the story is because Blue Squadron is suddenly back. And like I was aware of them because I had read Fall of Reach and First Strike and stuff, but I hadn't read any of the newer books, so apparently they're just back now. And there was some comic where at the end of the comic, Chief went back to Earth and like, okay, we're teaming you up with a squad now. Here's your squad. It's your old friends who you thought were dead. And there's like no reaction. They're just back.
Because plot.
Yeah, I mean, I think like the real reason is because Halo 5 has 4-player co-op in the story mode. So they got you 3 friends for the Chief sections to be blue teams, so you can play as those ones. Kind of like in Halo 2, how you had Arbiter as your player 2. And so they've got blue team just there to be 4 players, and then in
Yeah, I think like
the
that's basically what it comes down to is like they're just like, all right, we're gonna try and tell a story about this like other squad of like less powerful like Spartans,
yeah.
and they're like, well, we need a team for like Chief. Obviously, also we need to market these
Yeah, because they
motherfuckers. Like,
the Commander Locke and his squad of also 4, who I can't
hmm
remember who. There's Locke and there's Buck from ODST, and then he's just become a Spartan now. He was an ODST and now he's
yeah,
a Spartan. And then there's 2 other people who I don't remember who they were, but they're probably from other games or something. I mean, which I'm sure,
I
like,
will.
if I was
Oh,
following the
sorry.
books, this would be a really cool thing, to
Right,
have them acknowledging that expanded lore. But since I'm
right.
not, and they don't really do much to explain it, it was just kind of confusing.
I will say the only other game in like the Halo series that made me feel like the same kind of way as ODST was like was Reach.
Hmm.
Just going through the storyline and like watching all my friends die.
Yeah, like, I think Reach mostly affected me when I got to the last level, and you're on that bike, and you're riding along the canyon, and you can see the ships
hmm
in the air, and there's clouds, and it's like, if you know the story, this is when the planet's gonna get glassed and everybody's gonna
Yeah,
die.
this is the end.
Yeah.
You know.
And you're there, you're alone, and you have to get
hmm
Cortana to the Pillar of Autumn, and that's like
Yeah.
your final mission. So,
I like. There's so much like. There's such like like there's like a potential to tell like a great story with like Halo that I just feel like they're like kind of missing. Like they need to just get new writers because like this story
hmm.
has potential to be great, you know?
Yeah. And like I'm waiting for them to say something about 6, because like they've been building up this thing with Cortana where she's now the Reclaimer and like
Yeah.
connected to the Forerunner database or whatever, and she's like taking over the universe. I don't know. That's part of the reason I wanted to play through 5 again, so I could remember exactly what happened there.
Right.
I just know it's like Cortana appears to die in 4, and then she comes back in 5, but she's working with the bad guys now.
Mhm.
And I'm sure that'll build up to some big confrontation in 6.
Oh, naturally.
But yeah, I guess other video game stuff. Nintendo just had their big direct last night, so
Right.
I was already excited enough. Like, I was interested. I was gonna buy the new Kirby game when that came out,
Yeah.
but now I'm excited because they announced it's got like the usual 4 playable characters. You've got Kirby, Meta Knight, DDD, and Waddle Dee.
Mhm.
But after release, they're gonna have free DLC, including more playable characters. So they've got Marks the Jester from Kirby Superstar, who was one of my personal favorites, who's just been kind of forgotten by time. But
Right.
now he's back and he's playable. So, that's pretty cool. They also confirmed that Smash Brothers is coming to Switch, which I kind of expected. I mean, I think I'd heard something about it, and I'm still expecting it's just gonna be the same game that came out on Wii U and 3DS, but now it's a Switch version, and they've got the Inklings from Splatoon as playable characters.
Right.
I mean, which will still be cool, but I would really like if they released that game but had like a Melee-style basic story mode to it, so that
Right.
there'd be like more stuff to do as a single player, and it wouldn't just be a party game like the Wii U version was.
Yeah. It's really weird. I just don't really pay attention to like video games like that. Well, I don't pay attention to like releases and stuff, and so like I'm never really get excited about something. I didn't know the Switch was a thing until a month before it came out, which is like really crazy if you think about it.
Yeah, I don't know. Nintendo does tend to be pretty quiet with their marketing on stuff.
Yeah.
Like, they've had games that, like, they didn't announce, and then they get their press conference and they say, okay, yeah, here's this game, it's coming out in a month. And
Right.
nobody's heard of it before then. Yeah, I can't remember what else. Let's see. Yeah, they announced some other stuff. One of, like, they announced, so Luigi's Mansion was originally on GameCube. And then it came out in 2001. It had a sequel on 3DS in 2013. And then they just announced that they're doing like a remake port of the first one on 3DS. But then they said, like, so they announced the game and said, okay, now fans of Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon can finally play the original. And I just felt so old hearing that. It was like, this game that I played back on the system it came out on, it's like, hey kids, now you can finally play this old gem.
Relive your childhood.
Yeah. Like, I'm looking forward to it as a game, but it just kind of blew my mind for a second to think, oh yeah, there's people now who have played Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon on 3DS and did not play the original Luigi's Mansion before that.
Right.
So they didn't know what's going on with Luigi having a mansion. Not that the Mario games ever have... Like, the Mario game stories are so basic that you don't need to follow that deep Mario lore to find out what's going on. Yeah, let's see. Okay, Zeno... It's not a question, I guess. You should watch anime with me, Winky Smile.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
Like, stream it or something.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll work it out.
Like, sync up a YouTube stream video or something.
Though. I have, like, such high expectations for, like, things like anime.
Discover all of his weird tastes in anime and not know what to think of him anymore.
It's not even, like, his weird taste. It's just, like, I just, like my only real, like, kind of experience with anime is, like, the classics, you know? So, like, you know, like Cowboy Bebop, Trigun, Rurouni Kenshin, like things from, like, the 90s and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Back when everybody's face was like a knife.
Yeah, and back when it's like, if you're in America, then the only anime you're going to hear about is the Adult Swim stuff. You won't hear about all the other series that, thanks to the internet now, you can become aware that there's like 50,000 new series coming out every year.
Right. Yeah, it's just like a media that, like, I just don't pay attention to. So I wouldn't know where to start with, like, what's good or anything like that. So I guess in that respect, like, I would, like, that's a reason why I should watch it with Zeno, because, like, Zeno seems to have, like, an idea of what to look at, or he has, like, an idea of, like, what you're getting into when you watch a certain anime.
Yeah, I guess if you don't like one, you can recommend one in a different direction.
Although, I am hesitant because Zeno has been known to burn people before. I don't know if you ever heard, but, like, Zeno, I don't know if it was a prank, but, like, Zeno just, like, linked like Zoan, Ruby, Chase, and Tony, like, a link to, like, the SpongeBob porn, like the live action SpongeBob porn.
I remember hearing, like, the fallout on that. Yeah.
Oh my god, I heard, like basically a clip of, like, their reaction. And, like, people were, like, Ruby and Chase were just losing their minds. And I don't want to open myself up to that. I don't want to be vulnerable like that.
You just have to dive in and watch the SpongeBob porn on your own, so when he springs it on you, you've already seen it.
Yeah, I'm just, like, a jaded veteran. I'm just, like, brittle. I'm brittle to that. Like, at that point, I'm just like, this doesn't affect me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It sounds like he linked them the first one, and he really should. Like, the second one is so much more fun because that one has Patrick in it.
Oh my god! Yeah.
Yeah.
That was like kind of like what a concept for, like, a podcast. Me and my friends were kind of just throwing around. Me and my friends have been throwing around, like, podcast ideas because we really like the idea of starting one. And we have a pretty good idea right now that we're working on. But, like, one of, like, the initial ideas were, like, what if we just recorded ourselves live reacting to, like, porn?
That could work. Yeah. I mean, you'd probably have to make sure to link whatever it is so people could find out.
Yeah, absolutely. And they can, like, live react with us along the way. But, like, it's just, like, I don't know. That sounds kind of awful. Like, we're going to open ourselves up to a lot of stuff.
Can do, like, a Mystery Science Theater, like, commentary riff tracks over
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Yeah, I'd watch that.
Like, that medium is so dead at this point, but nobody's doing it for porn. It's an open market. Just get in. Jade, like, that's what you do, Jade. Like, now if you don't have, like a participant, like, for a Shack Funk, you're gonna be like, or you should, like, live react to, like, other people's, like, smut like Dice Funk Spot.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you'd have to find something that has the right level of weird to make it interesting to react to. Like, if it's just normal sex, then okay, yeah, they're doing it.
Although I was really disappointed that like my question, like the season 3 postmortem, my question wasn't read about like how much we have to pay like Austin to get him to give a dramatic reading of Wolf and in your slash fiction. I know there's a number.
Yeah, I mean, Kirstine read a bunch of them last November on my birthday, but
I'm gonna have to go back and listen to that.
Yeah, Jinglers, I think is the name of the thread. It's in the fan audio. But yeah, no, yeah, that sounds like a fun concept for a podcast there. Okay, his next question, why are you always hating on Star Wars?
Why not?
Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was directed at you or me.
Like, why not? You know what it is? Star Wars is one of those things that's just got so fucking obnoxious in this country. Like, we have a day dedicated to it. We have, like, napkins. We have ice trays. It's just, like, it's such a prevailing thing in this our culture. It's just, like, why not? Like, who gives a fuck if I, like, just start knocking, like, Star Wars? It's gonna be good. It's gonna, like, I'm gonna still watch the movies, and it's still gonna be, like, a good thing. Like, you know, there's gonna be way more people that like it than I do. Or, you know,
yeah.
I just think it's one of those things that have kind of prevailed in our culture so much that like it's just oversaturated, and it's just kind of gotten obnoxious at this point.
Yeah, and like when I hate on Star Wars, I hate it out of love, because it's like I love the broad spectrum of Star Wars, and I hate the thing, like, I hate how, like, The Last Jedi has, like, that kind of attitude of, like, oh, the Force, no, the Force, let me tell you what the Force is about. The Force is about this. The Jedi don't fucking matter. The Jedi are gone now. The Sith don't matter. They're, like, I just hate when things get dismissive of other things within the universe. Like, there's so many cool characters and stories and stuff. And,
right.
I want them to all be able to coexist. But Disney won't let me have that, because
they retconned all the fun stuff, you know?
Yeah, and now, I mean, it's like they retconned it all away with the idea that they've got this story group who apparently has a plan for stuff, even though they didn't actually write, like, you know, when Rian Johnson was brought in for episode 8, he's like, okay, so what's the plan? Like, there is no plan, you come up with something. And so he did. And I assume there's no plan for 9, I mean, there probably is now. I mean, I think J.J. Abrams has a script now, but there wasn't one coming out of 8. So, right. I mean, like, and the way 8 leaves things off, it doesn't feel like it's really building toward anything anymore anyway. It felt like it kind of wrapped it up in a lot of ways. So,
right.
So I don't know what they're gonna do with 9. I mean, it doesn't feel like, I don't know how they can make a satisfying trilogy out of 7, 8, and 9 the way they've gone right now, but maybe they will.
Right.
But
it doesn't matter. It's gonna keep, the machine's gonna keep going. Yeah. Disney's got its hands in this pot now, so like.
Yeah, you know. I mean, it's like they're making more stuff, but I'm not as excited. Like, not really excited for any of the new stuff they're making because I don't trust them to do it right anymore.
Right.
Like, Force Awakens gave me hope that, you know, maybe this will be good, but now we're getting the Solo movie, so.
Now, I mean, like, you've just set yourself up for, like, the third and, like, movie.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the return of hope. Yeah. We'll workshop that.
Yeah, I mean, and I was, like, Return of the Jedi is my favorite, so I was hopeful that they would continue just ripping everything off, and in a lot of ways, Last Jedi is a rip-off of Empire Strikes Back, so maybe 9 will be a rip-off of Return of the Jedi, and we'll get a new Jabba the Hutt in there or something. But I don't know. I mean, I won't know until they say more about it. I'm kind of wondering now where Solo is actually coming out in May, if they're switching from being the Christmas hit of the year to being a summer movie again. I mean, it doesn't seem like a smart idea to me, because like part of the reason that they made as much money as they did is that they pretty much had December all to themselves.
I like the Solo movie just purely because like there's more like black actors in it. Or like Maz Kanata's coming back, so they're like bringing like Lupita Nyong'o. back for her, like to like do her voice role, and then
Oh,
obviously fucking motherfucking Donald Glover
mm.
is Lando Calrissian,
Okay, yeah, I hadn't
sexy
heard that Maz
motherfucker.
Kanata was back, but that makes sense.
I'm pretty sure she's like in the trailer, like sitting in the gun seat of like
Oh,
the
was that
Falcon.
her?
I could be
Yeah,
wrong.
like, I remember there
Like
was like
it's
some
like
alien that got in the chair, but
it's like a 2 second shot.
hmm.
So
Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure who that was. I thought they had 4 arms though.
could be.
But I mean, I
I
wouldn't be
might be
surprised if
completely
she's
wrong
back because they established that she's got some kind of history with Han Solo
with
anyway. Yeah.
Solo. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, like I don't know. I'm going in with low expectations. Like I'm hoping it'll just be fun. Uh, like I think that's the best we can get, especially where they've had so much trouble behind the scenes of this one. Having to like get a new director halfway through and reshoot a lot of the
Yeah.
movie. Mm. Yeah, and also apparently the Rebels TV show in its, I don't know if, yeah, I think it is the season finale or series finale that they just did.
hmm
Introduced time travel to Star Wars.
Really?
So there's time travel. Yeah, well, there's like some kind of Jedi temple, and the main character Ezra goes there and ends up. It like shows him moments in like the past, present, and future. So he's seeing like stuff from the prequels, and he's seeing like Kylo Ren in the sequels,
hmm
and then he ends up going to this moment where at the end of season 2, Ahsoka and Darth Vader were inside the Sith temple and like the doors closed and it seemed like he killed her, but we didn't see it happen. And
Right.
now in this world between worlds, they call it, where he can like, where Ezra can see all these different parts of the timeline, he sees
hmm
that moment happening and reaches through and grabs Ahsoka and pulls her into the present. So,
What?
yeah, so time trap, you can pull people through time in this Jedi temple, and they blow up the
I
Jedi
like
temple.
this.
But that
Oh,
I mean, it doesn't matter because now that you've established that time travel can be done in Star Wars, they'll just make
right.
another temple that can do it. Um,
God, that's so awful. I really liked the fact that like they gave Ahsoka like an end
yeah. I mean, I liked her ending at the end of
at the
Clone
hands of
Wars.
Yeah.
Like at the end, yeah, it's like from her introduction in the movie, you're always wondering, like, okay, clearly she's not around after this, so what's gonna
Yeah,
happen to
well, I
her?
mean, like just understanding what happens with Episode 6.
Yeah, and then
You
you get
know,
to the end of season 5, and she feels betrayed by the Jedi and walks out on them, and that feels like a really good ending where it's open-ended enough that, like, she could survive Order 66 because she's not
mm,
part of the Jedi Order anymore. And they
right?
didn't, like, just kill her off, which is what, most people were expecting was going to happen. Um, and then they brought her back in Rebels, and then they had the thing with Vader, and, like, that also worked as an ending for her. But now she's been pulled through time and is alive, and I guess something happens, and Ezra and Grand Admiral Thrawn end up, like, on a ship together, like, caught in some kind of struggle, and the ship gets launched who knows where. And, like, it's vague, but they're probably, according to the series director, they're probably still alive.
Right.
And then we see,
Well, this is just setting up for like when they show up in the live action films.
I mean, I would love if Thrawn got in there. At least having Thrawn in Rebels has made it so they made a new 6-inch Thrawn action figure, since, like, the toys are where my investment is now. Now that, I have no idea what to expect from the stories. I just hope for good
hmm
toys. And they've made Thrawn
Right.
toys now that he's around again. And they're making more Thrawn books, which is cool. Like, they had the
Yeah,
Thrawn
that's
origin
exciting.
story, new canon origin story, but it's close enough to the old canon version that it works.
It'll just be another interesting character that Disney somehow ruins with bad writing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and that's like, if they bring Revan back, that would be cool because we could get some cool Revan toys, but I don't.
Wait, like Darth Revan?
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know what they would actually do with him as a character, especially because they're not even really trying to do much with the Old Republic era. It's
right.
like I don't know
I feel
that
like that's where they should be focusing on like movies and stuff like that. That's such a great story to tell.
Hmm.
Is like how the Republic was formed and like how this like there used to be fucking Jedi and Sith wars, just like
Yeah.
Like, that's how you
Yeah.
get your, like, your, like lightsaber fetishizing, like, just, like,
Mm.
worked out. You just show, like, hundreds of motherfuckers just battling it out in a
Yeah.
field with lightsabers.
Yeah, and, like, I don't know what
And
they're...
you have Darth Plague... Or, not... Wait, not Plagueis. Wait, was that Plagueis?
Plagueis is, Palpatine's master.
Oh, right.
Malgus, was the one in that video who's cutting that Jedi down when they have, like, the swarm of Sith fighting the Jedi at the temple.
Right.
It was like the first trailer to the Old Republic MMO.
Yeah.
The one that everybody loved. Yeah, but, yeah, I don't know, like, direction-wise, exactly where they're going in that sense. Like, yeah, if you, like, watching Last Jedi, it feels like they don't want, like, they're trying to get away from the idea of Jedi and Sith being the only groups that exist within, like, Force teachings, and they want to broaden it to other ideas, which is cool, but at the same time, it's not as structured, and they didn't actually go far enough to establish any of those other Force groups out there.
I guess I would just say it right now. If Disney really wanted to win me back, they make a movie based on the Republic Commandos, and they make it gritty, and they make it like just like this like really hard like war action movie like set in like the Clone Wars.
Yeah, I mean, like, them doing something in the Clone Wars seems iffy because they're trying to pretend the prequels don't exist as much as possible.
But the Commandos...
Yeah, but otherwise, like, the idea of a genre film is definitely something they're pushing with, like, Rogue One as a war film, and Solo as, like, a heist film.
Right.
At least I assume that's what it's gonna be. Yeah, so, I don't know. I know they just announced today that Jon Favreau is doing a live-action Star Wars TV show for Disney's streaming service that they're working on putting together.
Oh god, that's gonna be so bad once Disney has a streaming service.
Mm.
That means like how hard is Netflix about to get hit right now? You know?
I mean, they did confirm that Netflix is going to get to keep the Marvel stuff they have going. So, like, the whole Defenders multi-series crossover thing. Like, they're going to get to keep doing that, but there's probably going to be other Marvel shows on the Disney service.
Right.
I don't know. I've kind of fallen off all the Marvel shows, honestly.
Oh, yeah, I don't pay attention to those. After, like, I've lost all faith in, like, Marvel having a successful TV show after, like, Iron Fist blew up. Although, I am, like, morbidly curious about the Punisher show, just because I like Jon Bernthal as an actor.
Yeah, I just haven't had time.
I love Jon Bernthal, and I wish, like, he didn't get typecasted into a guy that needs to get punched in the face all the time. Because he has such a pretty face.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I got partway through Luke Cage and then just got distracted and never got back to it, and I haven't watched any of the other ones after it, yeah.
The first half of Luke Cage is, like, really amazing, and was really great, and I don't understand why, like, they had, like, this Oscar-winning actor as, like, as the villain, or as the antagonist, and it was amazing, and then they just, like, ruin it halfway through. They just, like, have that character killed off.
Oh. Yeah.
Sorry if I spoiled that for you guys. It's been, like, 2 years. Get over it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I never finished it, and then I just, like, I never watched any of Iron Fist or Defenders, or I don't know if Jessica Jones Season 2 is out yet. I know it was happening, but... Yeah. Like, I've heard that that's happening and Punisher's happening, unless Punisher
Jessica
already
Jones
happened.
was, like, alright. I might look at that again.
Yeah. Like, I like the first season of Daredevil a lot. And Jessica Jones, it was a really good story, but it's pretty heavy, so...
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Like, I'm not keen to watch that another time, and then...
Right.
Like, Daredevil Season 2 was fine. It was kind of split down the middle. It's like you got the Punisher half, and then the Endless Ninjas half.
But yeah, like, how do you make, like, Death Cult Ninjas, like, uninteresting? To, like, it just kind of bad. I don't understand. Like, you know? I just don't understand. That's just bad writing. That's just how that works out.
Yeah. Yeah, and then, like, even, like, outside of the Netflix stuff, like, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has never really been good. like I watched the first season as it was like airing on TV and hoping it would get good, and it almost gets good toward the end, but it's just a mess.
Right.
Like it
Oh my god.
feels like a TV budget show.
Yeah.
Like writing and acting wise and everything. Yeah, I don't know. Like, on Netflix, I watched through Agents of Shield season 2 and 3, and like, there's some interesting stuff in 3. Like, what's his face? The bad guy who refuses to Ward. Yeah, the bad guy who refuses to die. I think turned into like a tentacle face guy or something. So that was cool. And then he died again, and then he undied again, I guess. I guess they had a whole, like, season or half season where they had life model, duplicates. Those, like, robot versions of themselves.
I guess, like, I don't know. Marvel has kind of proven that they, like, are not good at making a show.
Well, yeah, they've got different people working on the TV shows than on the movies.
Definitely, obviously. There's obviously, like a money gap here.
Yeah. Yeah, and for a while, I think the TV shows were still being made by the Marvel, like, comics group, where the Marvel Studios has separated, like, they got Disney to intervene and break them off from Marvel Comics so that they wouldn't be held back by, like, the comics wanting them to do things a certain way, or, like, not hire a certain actor because they're too expensive, or, like, I guess, I think it's Ike Perlmutter who was head of Marvel. I don't know if he still is, but I guess he's the reason why they recast Rhodey in the Iron Man movies. Because they didn't want to keep paying, whatever the first, I forgot his name, the first actor was asking for.
Right.
So then they got Don Cheadle to take his place.
I'm kind of happy. I love Don Cheadle, so.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think Don Cheadle looks more like a Rhodey. Maybe it's just because I've seen him in more films, but like the first guy seemed a little too suave for what I would picture Rhodey to be.
Don Cheadle's just like such a good like character actor. He's actually like in like he's like a pretty big presence in like one of my favorite films. He plays like a teen counselor at like basically like a troubled youth kind of like hospital where like basically like just troubled teenagers go to like basically like because like it's like kind of shown that their like home life is not good.
What was the movie?
Manic.
Oh, okay.
I'm butchering like basically like what he was doing, but like yeah. Also very young Joseph Gordon-Levitt's in that movie. That's always good. But yeah, the movie was called Manic.
See, got more Xeno questions. On a scale of 1 to 100, how much do you hate Tom Brady?
I mean, I begrudgingly respect Tom Brady. He's a good quarterback, but like I just, like that's as far as it goes. Like I don't like go out of the way to hate like Tom Brady. I don't even know Tom Brady. Like he's just another person, you know.
Yeah, and like how much longer does he have as a football player?
He doesn't have very much longer. I give him another year or two. Two's generous.
Yeah, because it seems like he's been there for a long time, and
he says he wants to play till he's 45, and that's just I don't see it.
Yeah. Are you a fan of synthwave?
It's all right. I mean, like, I don't go out of my way to listen to synthwave music, but like, it's just like calming music that you can kind of like put on in the background and not really think about. Which, admittingly, like kind of seems like pointless then, because like obviously, why would you put on music unless if you didn't have the intention to listen to it?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it makes it easier to multitask.
It is true. No, it's just it's good music in that respect. Like there's nothing really too interesting happening in it. Like you kind of listen to someone like a few, like maybe a handful or 10 synthwave songs, and you can really just understand what's going on here.
Yeah, and actually, like, so if you're not paying attention to it, it might help you focus better. Where, like, if you get distracted by silence but need some kind of noise, but not like a noise that you actually need to listen to.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, like, it's all right. I mean, like, it is what it is.
Hmm.
I don't get excited if like if like a synthwave artist releases music. I guess.
Hmm. Um, favorite genre of music?
That's I don't choose. Why would I choose? Why would I limit myself like that?
Hmm.
I mean, it's all good. There's good music in like every genre. You just have to look for it.
Preferred martial weapon of choice?
Warhammers. Warhammers are like really nice, and then like see, I'm just always like a fan of like the fucking mace that like what's his face had like in Lord of the Rings.
Oh, yeah.
Sauron.
Yep.
Sauron's mace. The fact that like Sauron just like lifts his mace and swings it and like 16 dudes just go flying.
Mm.
Like I was like that's a badass weapon.
Mm. You need a pretty big arm to use it right, I guess.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Sauron, right? Like he's like the ultimate like evil guy.
Yeah.
He's basically like Satan in that movie,
Yeah.
or like Lucifer or whatever.
Mm.
It's weird. I mean, like I just there's tasteful weapons in every category. Like warhammers are nice. Like certain swords are really nice.
Yeah, I think I'd probably go with quarterstaff. Like, there's a lot of swords that I like design-wise, but I think if I'm actually going to carry something around, a staff is pretty nice.
Right.
Because you can, like, hit with either side of it, or just twirl it around and not cut yourself on it.
Would you be, like, really bold and get, like, the quarterstaff that breaks into, like, 3 lengths and on chains and stuff?
No, probably not. No, like quarterstaff, or I mean, I really like the Star Fox Adventures Crystal Staff, where it's a staff, but it's got like 2 kind of spear-like tips on either side. Mm-hmm. So it's not just like a Donatello stick.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it's mostly the feel of holding a staff. Like, you can hold it with one hand, you can hold it with 2 hands. It's flexible.
There's always the most interesting weapon to me is like the chain that has like the concrete ball on one end and then like the knife on the other end. So you just like twirl it around and kick them and shit like that.
Okay, yes.
Those are like the fight like when you see people fight with them, it's always like so like interesting and pretty to watch. Fucking terrifying, to be honest. Like if someone's like competently using one of those, I'm just like, run for your life, get out of the way. Like,
yeah, I mean, if they can competently use like any whip or chain weapon, then they've got to be pretty good. To not be hitting yourself with that.
Mm-hmm. That's like that's how I guess like the underlying text to like a Jedi is just like, well, this weapon literally cuts through anything, so they have to be like elite level competence to use it, or else they'll just be chopping their fucking arm off half the time.
Yeah, and it's like lightsabers are cool, but if you had to use one practically, then you can't use any of the moves that involve like 2-hand, putting a hand on the blade.
Right. Yeah.
Which you can do with a sword. I mean, you just
like
don't,
half swording. Yeah.
But you do it with a lightsaber, and now your hand's gone.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it kind of limits your range of moves you can do with something like that. Okay, his last question is kind of like my questionnaire question. What superpowers would you enjoy having?
It's just like such a weird hypothetical question. Superpowers. I think the last time I said like the ability to like not clone myself, but like just like make duplicates of myself. Like that one dude from the X-Men.
Yeah, the multiple man thing.
You know who's a part of the X-Men, but is just like such an underrated character? Angel, or whatever. Okay. Just the dude with wings.
Yeah.
He just has wings. That's all he does.
Yeah.
At least that's how I thought. I never read the comics.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Like, I know in the movies there's like 3 or 4 different angels.
Right. What exactly is like, I don't know, maybe you know this and I don't, but like what exactly is like Gambit's power?
I don't know. I know that there's got to be some explanation for it. It's something like he can charge up an object with energy and then throw it, and then the energy explodes out or something. So he prefers to
Right.
do it with cards. Like, he takes a card and he charges it with that pink energy stuff and he throws it and it blows
Right.
up.
Yeah.
But I think he could do it with, like, anything.
What a cool. He's definitely a cool character.
Yeah. It's too bad that Channing Tatum Gambit movie's probably never gonna happen.
Yeah, that is sad. Even though like Channing Tatum does kind of look the part to be Gambit.
Yeah, like I think a movie like that, like it doesn't really make sense for them to do it, but that's why it's kind of interesting if they actually did do it.
Right.
Like they could do they could kind of do whatever they want with that because nobody's really expecting anything from it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I guess the multiple man thing would be nice. I'm pretty sure Wordfunk has brought up like the idea of time, which would be nice to be able to like get
Too much responsibility.
Yeah, like, use time powers to get your sleep in. Like you freeze time, you sleep, you wake up, and now it's back.
Oh, you know what? You know what my power would be? I would just be able to like just the spell rope trick. Just snap my fingers and there's like a pocket dimension above me, like an invisible pocket dimension above me that I can just climb into and like disappear from.
Okay, yeah. So
rope trick is like such a funny little spell.
You just like hide from the world for a while and then you have to come out.
Yep. But if I can just do that at will and there's no like time limit, just be like, yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if you could combine that with like a teleport, so you
just blink out.
Yeah, you like disappear and then you can like reappear anywhere else whenever you feel like it.
Right.
Like you enter like the astral plane or something, but physically.
There is a spell called Blink where you like just kind of jump into the astral plane.
But like you can exit whenever you want, so you can like enter this other realm, hang out there for a while, and then exit anywhere, not any time, but at the time that it is, but anywhere.
Right.
Okay, then we got more Revan questions. Best dramatic entry.
I need like clarification.
Yeah, that's kind of like I don't know if that means like the entrance of like an athlete in a sport or like a
like if I said like I don't know
like a character's entrance in a movie or.
Yeah, no, it's I don't know. Dramatic entry.
Or the best way to do a dramatic entry?
Parachute, if that's the case. If you just show up with a parachute, like, or you show up like parachuting down anywhere, you're like people just know. Oh fuck that! That guy's a badass.
Yeah.
That girl's a badass.
Or you can just be like Captain America and not bother with a parachute. You just jump out.
Or if you just like burst through a brick wall like every time.
Yeah, just Kool-Aid Man.
Yeah, just like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. You just explode through. Like people are just like, who built this brick wall here? Like. Who put a brick wall in the office? And then you just explode through. Everybody's just like shook, you know?
Okay, so you get a superpower that you can create a brick wall anywhere with the express purpose of you bursting through it.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they need to come up with more superheroes, so there's a power for you.
If that power ever like flicks out and like you just like you create the brick wall but you can't burst through it now, you just like run straight into a brick wall and give yourself a concussion.
Let's see. Okay, best way to calm one's own anger.
That's such a tricky question. I was having a conversation like this with a friend of mine where they asked me like what I do to like kind of like battle with depression, and it's just such a weird tricky thing because like what one person does to like cope is not gonna may not work for another person. We all like everybody's different in that regard. For me, like working out or like doing something with my hands or like just like being active is gonna be like much more helpful than like reading a book. Or like listening to music. Although I listen to music regardless, like with any of those things.
Yeah, I mean, I guess when it comes to anger, I feel like usually that involves like a drive of like feeling like I need to do something. So usually,
Right.
there is a doing of something involved, but depending on the stage, like how recently it was, usually talking helps, but if I'm angry enough, talking becomes like counterproductive, because then you just
Right.
redirected it the person you're talking to.
I'm such like a bad person to ask that question to. Anyways, I'm like a brooding individual most of the time. I feel like I give like such a bad impression of myself off at like on the Discord and everything like
Mm.
that, just because that's like the medium we're dealing in. But like 50% of my day is just like me like sitting thinking about how like the situation could be better or how I'm unsatisfied. You know,
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm very like I hate to use like the comparison, but I'm just like sometimes I just become Bruce Wayne and I just like sit in my fucking house and I'm just like angry.
I'm just waiting for a bat to burst through the window and give you an idea.
Yes, exactly.
Hmm. Yeah.
And I tell my butler to fuck off.
Aw, poor Alfred. He works so hard.
He does, he does.
Mm. Um, let's see. Okay, what are your favorite charts?
My favorite charts.
Oh yeah, the hard-hitting questions.
I haven't looked at them in a while, but I think I have pretty interesting medical charts.
Yeah, the hardcore chart fandom, and their endless
Yeah,
debates over what the
definitely.
best chart is.
Yeah, no, like that's just a question. Where, like you just give an answer. There's not really any like
Mm.
expansion on it. You know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess since we talked Star Wars earlier, there are some nice star charts in some of the books. Like it's interesting to
There.
see
Oh,
like where the planets are according to this author, and how ridiculous it is that apparently they made it from this planet to this planet in this span of time.
right. Um, there is like this like Google document that like Skitch shares around like the Dice Funk
Mm.
Discord
The
quite a
the Ed
bit, and it's
backstory one, or
no. It's the one. It's the one where like the guy basically took like all the like the classes and then their subclasses and then like charted them out and like did like a lot of hard data kind of studies on like what classes were popular, what classes are like the quote unquote the best, you know, and such. That's really interesting to look at. It's if you just kind of wanted to look at raw data, you know, and basically it kind of like breaks down like you know what classes are most popular and which ones are like perceived as like the most effective for each like class in D&D fifth edition. There's one we reference to a lot basically that kind of shows like on a XY axis like you know what subclasses are the funnest and also most played. And so you get like interesting things like finding out that Battle Master is like the top for fighter, and that like Way of the Four Hands is like the absolute worst class.
Like based on how many people used it, or just how effective it is?
Or I'm sorry, did I say Way of the Open Hand? I think Way of the Four Elements is what I meant.
Okay.
Just in like yeah, like one, how many people use it, and two, like I guess like satisfaction from the class. Like
okay, so it just doesn't have enough like interesting aspects to it, or
yeah, and it's not like a hot take to say Way of the Four Elements is like kind of like a weak class or weak subclass or just a weak an uninteresting subclass.
Yeah, I mean that sounds like it would be like an Avatar: The Last Airbender kind of class.
It does.
But it doesn't actually do much elementally, or.
But I mean, yeah, it's just like I don't know. Like when is Wizards ever like release something that was like half baked in a book? You know. They don't do that.
Yeah, no.
Stop lying.
Yeah, they wouldn't release like 20 pages of names as supplemental content.
$50, please.
Yeah, they're making another book. In
Mordecai.
Yeah, the Mordecai one is it's like May, I think, when that comes out.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I'm interested. Like
it's billed as like another Volo's guide, and Volo's guide, the Volo's guide was good. So
yeah, it's like it's Volo's guide, but it's got more like historical lore stuff, which would be cool. I'm not sure what kind of creatures it's gonna have, but that'll be cool.
I just want player stats for Grung. Give me the player stats for the Grung.
Yeah, like I haven't heard anything about it having new races. Like it's gonna have creatures, but I don't know if it'll have like race options or if you're gonna have to just modify those out of the creatures that it gives you, or.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
To clarify, the Grung in D&D or in the Forgotten Realms lore are basically tree frog people.
okay, yeah, like Volosgad had the regular ones, I think, but they
Yeah,
didn't have.
they didn't have stats
Okay.
or like racial features and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah, so you'd have to
Although
homebrew
I
that.
do kind of hate like the Vol's guide for like releasing Grung, but like not giving the players features, and also like just like the fact that like it's just another like race of monstrous like creatures that are like evil for no reason.
Yeah.
Like Wizards is really kind of just bad at that. Like a lot of like their like interesting kind of like races are just straight up evil for no reason. Like if you don't have fair skin and pointy ears, you're just evil.
Yeah. Yeah, like it's more interesting when they have like a culture behind it.
Yeah.
Like I've read the whole thing on the research for Dice Funk or no Dice Funk Dunk Plays Season 2, which actually my phone just alerted me. I guess the new episode just went up. But yeah, researching my character on there, I read the whole Yuan T entry and found out about how they're like racist snake people.
Yeah.
But, I've tried to adapt it into a way that I'd still found, like, interesting and compelling, where it's, like, a character that is racist, but doesn't really see it as a race thing. He just sees it as, like, my species is just better than you because of our ancestry.
We're just superior.
Yeah. I mean, it's just,
sure.
And that, it is what it says in the UNT thing, that's how they see, like, they don't see it as, like, a contempt for other species thing, it's just, we're the best, because we are.
I always just kind of look at it like, if unless you're specifically playing a game set in the Forgotten Realms, there's no reason for you to have to like follow anything that they say about races.
Yeah, I don't know. I just thought it'd be interesting to try to like, inform the character because I was trying to think. I knew I was going to play an evil character, and I wanted it to be like an interesting one who like I could get in their headspace. But like the best one I've done was Cyrene from what it's been so long. Anarchy ADD, the Anarchy D&D that we did on the Shack. The third season of that kind of fell apart. But the character I had made for it, I really liked like her motivation and stuff. Like she's like a magic vampire basically. She's draining people of life because she's afraid of dying herself. Which made for a compelling character. But I knew I had to do something different, so...
Well, if you had to put an alignment on Jong, or how do you say it?
Yeah.
How would you pronounce that?
I don't know, I just took it out of the Volos guide. It said Jonk, or Jank, or whatever.
Jonk. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you had to put an alignment to that to that individual, how would you...
Let's see, actually, his sheet is the one that I pulled out earlier, and I wrote neutral. Just plain old neutral, yeah.
I think that's written, like, definitely fair.
Yeah. He's, like, when I rolled up his stats, I did just straight D20 rolls. And when I got to the intelligence one, I rolled a 1. So I rounded up to a 3.
So tragic.
Yeah, like, I rounded it up to a 3, but I didn't give him any skills in any intelligence stuff. But I got a raw 16 and 17 on his first 2 rolls, so he's got high strength, high dex, and no intelligence. So,
right.
Well, actually, no, I don't know if it was like that. I think I rolled all these I rolled the 6 numbers, and then I decided
the Jeff Town.
Yeah, like I stuck the 1 in there.
The Jeff Town thing is just so funny to me because like, it's just really, it's like an interesting thing that like Drag is like doing, and I like don't know where the story's going, but it's like funny. I already figured out a way for my character to just kind of like break. I don't know if like they've figured out what my character can do. Or if anybody really knows, like my character is playing, I'm an Aasimar.
Okay.
And I have like, we're level 5, and so at level 3 I get my Nova ability, and so I can just kind of spontaneously fucking sprout wings and just start flying. And I don't know if, I don't know if that would just be interesting to be like Malekith just Novas and flies over the fence and it flips off everybody and says goodbye.
Yeah, if they have like any guards on the walls who would try to shoot you down, or
Well, they could try.
Yeah, like I don't know. It's been a while since we started that, so I can't remember exactly what was said. But there's some things like I had Meta Jeff as a character I just made up because I wanted to make meta jokes
Yes.
about stuff. Because a lot of
Yes.
like Silas Jeff is a character from ADD2,
Mhm.
and the whole thing with the Jeffs at the top are now suddenly acting strange and like harsher was
Right.
kind of similar to the main villain I had created for ADD2.
Right.
So I'm wondering if he's back. But I mean, I don't know.
See, I have no idea what any of that's. I didn't look back at that at all.
Yeah, and it is like
So-
probably like 100 pages of posts you would have to read through. But
Whew.
mostly because I was running ADD2, and it was my main character was a robot version of Batman who's the Dark Knight Paladin,
Right.
Oath of Vengeance, and
Mhm.
he's just he's constantly screaming about justice, but he's attacking people because he's like crazy.
He's a vigilante.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, he's like a dark parody Batman. But that kind of sprouted into a whole world that was structured around a mix of Batman in jokes and references, and
Right.
kind of like building on Funky Shack jokes and memes and stuff in
Right.
like I just structured it as like we would go to this area and some stuff is happening and then it ends up with a boss fight, and there were like 5 or 6 boss fights and that's the campaign, and then there's like stuff that happens in between those.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
I think
So-
what's really interesting is that we're also like there's like this like other server that we've kind of created for the people who are a part of like the light bearers,
Oh yeah.
which
I remember you were
the
saying something about
easiest way I can like quickly describe that is like Dice Funk expanded universe lore.
that. Yeah, because it's like Roland's
Roland's happy
Group.
band of children heroes
yeah.
that like basically like also Roland's band of broken and misused toys.
Dark.
But yeah, so like there's like another server where we're currently kind of like doing like a really interesting arc by arc DMing game through Discord. Right now, like we've kind of like just haven't like hit the ground running, and I've kind of like unintentionally like took the first like basically arc. So I've just kind of established a bunch of like evil characters and awful people and like a really crazy like artifact that like the that we've come into like basically contact with.
So are you like still set in Ilium and Akamoros, or are you making up new territories? Or?
So we're set. I like the geography of it is vague enough to the point where like we're like in those like we're on that continent basically. So like we exist in a space where we can like in like 4 or 5 days travel you're back in Ilium, or like and vice versa. Like there is no like map of like the Dice Funk continents or anything like that. So like to just be like, oh, it takes like 10 days to do this, to go here. It's really just kind of like hit or miss with the math in that regard.
Yeah, because we know there's Ilium and there's a field around it, and Akamoros is an island.
I haven't come up with like a really clever name at all for like the arc that I'm writing, but basically the to summarize it is that like the light bearers without not like obviously Roland is like such like a big like character that he can't be with them all the time, and so they're just kind of like out and about, and they find like a town being attacked by an elemental. They take care of the elemental, and then figure, like they go investigate like to what caused the elemental, and they find like this cleric basically under the control of like this like basically relic like powerful crown.
Hmm.
And just kind of like kangaroo court ensues because like people are grabbing the crown and the crown's just like enthralling people.
Hmm.
And then the really evil people show up.
Hmm. And those are like building toward later stuff.
I don't think there will like kind of be like a climactic battle at the end of my arc. I think like the characters need to be like a little bit, they need to exist a little bit longer. And I don't know exactly what other people have planned for their arcs.
Okay, so you're introducing them and then handing them off to someone else to build onto.
I think my idea was that like I introduce them and then I pray that no one else touches them.
Oh, okay, so it's sort of the Timothy Zahn approach where you make up like Grand Admiral Thrawn and Mara Jade and stuff, and then like everybody else, like they put Mara Jade in other stories, but Thrawn's or Zahn has like this group of characters that are pretty much just in his novels.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's like it's a weird thing we haven't really worked out yet, but like we'll see how it goes. Basically, I wish there was a way for like more people to just kind of like kind of window view or spectate what's happening there, because it is a really interesting story, and everybody who we have like involved is like really kind of engaging, and interesting with like their role play.
Yeah, like I don't know if it would still make sense if you just copy and paste the entire chat into like a forum thread.
Yeah.
If you've got like too much side commentary for that.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, it's like something to look into, I suppose.
I mean, it is text, right? It's not a, or is it
yeah, it's all text based. It's all text based.
Yeah. So you could just like highlight and copy and paste, and then. I've done that with stuff. Right? Yeah, like I've done that with stuff on the Discord before, but then you've also got like all the names and the timestamps in there too.
Mm-hmm.
But let's see. Oh yeah, Revan's got okay, yeah, we got like 15 minutes left. Revan has 2. Okay, yeah, we can get through these. Revan's got 2 questions, and John Paul's got 3. Okay. So, Revan's question, what title would you love to have on your business cards?
That's such a weird question. I've never had a business card. Master Orator. Just without reason.
I mean, I've already got a title, the Grand Empress of Ships, or whatever.
It evolves every time, because wasn't it like the Chair Slut a while ago?
Oh, yeah, well, Chair Slut is a different one. That's one that Kirsten gave, like, Chair Slut of the Funky Institute of, I don't remember, Sex Studies in my, stamp at the end of my name. Checking on here. Okay, Chair Slut of the Funky Shack Institute of Genital Philosophy.
Right.
So, I mean, yeah, that one sounds formal enough that it could work. I mean, because I'm a doctor, according to Austin, like, doctor of questions.
Right.
Although that one, like, sometimes it's been, like, Professor Jade, Doctor of Questions. I think sometimes it's Dr. Jade, Professor of Questions.
Sometimes it's Doctor, PhD, Professor Jade.
Yeah, something, either of those would work, or there's, like, the giant fancy title that, I can't remember if it was Dark Hint or Bright or both, gave me, like, the Empress Jade of, like, something Grand Admiral of Ships.
Right.
Which I mostly remember because it reminds me of Star Wars, and I assume that was the intent. Like, I don't know who else has a Grand Admiral in their stories.
You garnered a lot of power in your time here.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, it's like I was just there, and then it happened.
I wouldn't fight it.
Yeah. Okay, and then his last question: what is the best first-person shooter if you don't count graphics?
I was really a big fan of Killzone, like the original Killzone. They had like a really fun, like kind of weird, like dual joystick, kind of like how you aimed the weapon factored in.
Yeah. I mean, I think I've said before, Perfect Dark is like one of my favorite games.
We talked about that before.
Yeah, like
Uh,
that. Yeah, Perfect Dark and like classic GoldenEye. The
yeah,
N64 shooters. Like the graphics weren't good, but the gameplay was there.
I did play the like original GoldenEye game. We had like Nintendo 64,
Yeah.
but I was more busy like playing like Pokemon Stadium in that game.
Hmm. Yeah, and like the original GoldenEye, it's good, but like Perfect Dark is an evolution of that. It's got
Right,
more weapons and stuff.
right.
And just a crazy sci-fi plot, like um, kind of an X-Files type plot, I guess. Um, yeah. Okay, and then we got John Paul asked, let's see, 3 questions. What are your top 10 favorite bones?
I
Oh
couldn't give you
boy.
a top 10.
Yeah, I didn't research any of that.
Well, no, I like the clavicles one.
Yeah, I know
Femur,
the ilium is one, and
of course,
the
naturally.
tarsus.
Do you know the? Do you know like the what's attached to the ilia? Or no, no,
Uh,
no. Fuck, I fucked that up. It's not the ilium. There's like I was thinking about the bones in your forearm.
yeah, I know all the, like most, if not all, of the bones mentioned in season 3 ilium are around the pelvic area. Which I mean, Kirsten made the joke that Austin took us all to Boner Town
Jeez.
because yeah, it's all like genital
Right.
area bones. Um,
The femur's interesting.
Skulls are pretty cool.
Skulls are pretty cool. The one you like look at like the segmentation of them and everything like that, the suture lines.
Yeah, like if you take a skull and then you put it on like a body with a leather jacket and you set it on fire and put it on a motorcycle and
You got
give it a
yourself a
chain,
superhero pretty
yeah,
right
you get
there.
a pretty cool character there who hopefully won't be wasted in any movies.
Who also likes jelly beans for some reason.
Mm. Yeah. Um. Let's see. Okay, if your life was a novel, who would have written it?
Dan Abnett.
Hmm.
Dan Abnett. I just really like him as an author.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, I'm not sure who I would want to write about my boring life. That sounds like a slog.
well, I think like the idea is like if you had like a life story, right? And it
Hmm.
was written by somebody, like wouldn't it be written in the fashion of their story? Like if you had like Stephen King write your story, some spooky shit's happening in your story,
Hmm. Okay, so you have
whether
to
it's
like
real or not.
look back on your life and figure what author's style best fits the way your life has gone.
Right.
Like, probably someone really boring. I don't know. Probably an author I don't bother to read because I'm not interested in their stuff.
What if like Chuck Tingle wrote your autobiography?
Oh,
Or
that
wrote your
that would be
biography?
cool. Yeah. Yeah. No, I think Chuck the characters in Chuck Tingle's books have a lot more confidence in like social engagements than I do.
I mean, they always do at the beginning, but then they end up getting like pounded in the butt by like a marble table or something,
Yeah. I mean,
and then like all the confidence is gone, and they're so confused and they're learning stuff about themselves.
yeah. I mean, yeah, because like, they'll be flirting with the marble table, and then, somehow sex comes up, and then
The
the
marble table
protagonist,
shows its dick off, and they're like,
yeah,
"Oh
it'll show
no,
its dick, and
I'm learning something about myself."
yeah, they'll discover their inner gayness, and then they will deep throat the dick and struggle with it because they've never deep throated before, but
Yeah,
they'll still manage to do it.
they'll
Uh,
manage to do it impressively,
yeah,
which is
yeah. I
like
mean, they'll
that's not how
choke
that works.
once,
That's
and
not how I
then
was taught.
yeah, it's like they choke on it at first, and then they just relax, and now they can deep throat.
Yeah,
And yeah, and then there will be some combination of sex positions that involves one or both butts getting pounded. And then there will be thick ropes of milky, what are there's a few words that he uses to describe spunk.
splooge.
Yeah. I mean, milky ropes is the one that stands out to me,
Oof.
usually.
That's like the least attractive way to
Yeah.
describe it.
Yeah, just like the weird and creative ways to describe cum.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then there may or may not be a twist ending.
yeah. Like the marble table ends up being like your long lost stepbrother. I don't know.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, living in the Tingleverse would be fun.
It wouldn't be boring. It wouldn't be boring.
Yeah. I mean, you just avoid the vampire night bus, and... unless you want to be a night bus.
I haven't read that one.
Oh yeah, no, I read it. It's in his horror stories collection, and it's one where, the vampire, so there's this night bus that he's, I guess, been told not to ride because it's creepy or something.
Mm-hmm.
But there's all the other buses have gone away for the night, so he has to ride this one.
He has no option.
Yep, it's a night bus, and it's revealed to be a vampire, and then the sex happens and stuff, and then it turns out that having sex with a vampire night bus turns you into a vampire night bus. So the guy turns into a bus at the end.
Oh no!
And he drives off howling into the night.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
How wild.
And then John Paul's last question.
I'm really looking forward to that podcast because I just want to be able to get more insight into the mind of this beautiful person.
Yeah, and I'm sure they're gonna read that. I listened to that trailer where they gave previews of it, and I know they have Bigfoot Pirates Haunt My Balls in there. Was one of them. I can't remember the other ones. I hope the Handsome Corn one is in there.
The Handsome Corn one, yeah.
Yeah, isn't that Pounded in the Butt by Handsome Corn? Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Kronobi was going to be male, and then I was trying to figure out what voice would I do, and then I just decided to make her female.
Yeah, fuck it. Why not? And now they're a legend.
Yeah. Yeah, and now I'm playing around with other voices while I'm reading the Darth Bane book on my Jade Reed's side podcast, so...
Right.
I'm probably going to try to get Kopex's voice involved as a Funk Dunk Plays character in the next season, I guess. I mean, as much fun as lice is to play. Okay, I was about to switch into Kopex's voice, but now I need to think about it.
Did you just get slightly self-confident or self-conscious about it?
Basically a Palpatine voice. Kind of like that,
Unlimited
I guess.
power.
Yes, of course. Some kind of sinister character, I guess.
I'm just a sleazy businessman. Would you like to buy this vacuum?
I'm selling Girl Scout cookies. Could I tempt you to buy a box?
This wonderful timeshare in the Florida Keys.
Oh, no, that is devious.
Yeah, no, roping people into timeshares is there is a special circle of hell for you. I don't know. What's funny is sometimes I'm writing this Call of Cthulhu campaign, set in it was set during World War II, basically, and they're the characters are going to be part of the U.S. Army, and I want to try and work on as many basically U.S. accents as I can, and I'm the goddamn damnedest thing is to get the nuance between southern accents, because there is a difference to the way somebody from Texas sounds to somebody from Louisiana, and there's a difference way somebody from Louisiana sounds from somebody who lives in the Appalachian Mountains. But all these people are technically southern. Yeah,
it's there's similarities, but
it's pretty easy to just talk southern, or just put a country accent on your voice. You just gotta kind of relax your voice a little bit, and just not give a fuck as much about how you pronounce things.
Yes. I guess it's how much you hold it out.
Yeah.
I guess.
Something I find myself doing a lot when I do a Texas accent is I really my face kind of becomes more rigid, and I purse my lips a lot more to basically basically give as little space as possible to actually produce words. I don't know. I think that sounds more genuine. I think I'm basing it a lot off of Heath Ledger's character from Brokeback Mountain. Because he was technically from Texas.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll actually work, or if anybody will actually give a fuck what I'm doing. But, I'm just living my truth here.
Yeah, no, you're learning valuable skills and imitation.
Yeah. Maybe I'll do something with it.
Mm.
Who knows?
Yeah, you just become a chameleon, and now you can be anybody.
Yeah, I could just. I'm a person of 1,000 faces.
Yeah.
I can be anywhere at any time. You'll never know.
Yeah, you become that guy from Game of Thrones. And
Oh God, you're talking about things I don't know.
uh,
Yes, that guy.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, yeah, there's
You
a
know that
guy.
guy.
Yeah, there's a guy who can like put on they have like these, I guess, like magic faces or something. They can just stick it on and now you become like that person.
Mm-hmm.
And then the guy himself has like no sense of self, or he's denied his own sense of self so hard that he doesn't even like refer to himself as a person.
Oh God,
It's just
that's so
like this one.
terrifying. He's like the changeling. He has no identity.
Yeah, I mean he's the inspiration for Kirsten's character in season 2.
Interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, John Paul's last question, I guess to wrap things up. You're transported into a season of Dice Funk as yourself. How would you contribute to the party?
I have no clue.
Oh,
How
shit,
could
yeah.
how could I mean like this is like so, like if like am I like an adventurer? Am I just like some like town folk? Like
Yeah, I mean, because I missed the as yourself part at first, and that, yeah,
I
I don't know what I would
suppose
do as me.
it's preference. Like so like if I was transported into season 3, if I lived in Ilium, I guess it kind of like would suggest that I am some of some repute, you know? Because like only people who like you don't just end up in Ilium, you go there for a reason. If season 2 is a little bit more tricky because it's like I could just be anybody. I could just be some fucking homeless person in like
Who's going to drown?
Yeah, who's gonna drown? No, you want to know what? I would just want to be the person who just asks them if they have cheese.
I mean, being a particularly angry dwarf could be fun.
Oh yeah, just like giving him the bird.
Just everywhere you go.
Wait, was it ever confirmed if he was angry? Like in like the Oh yeah. Well, it was. He was like the message carrier in like the at the party at the end of the season. And he was still angry.
Yeah, that's just
fuck you.
His thing. He's been angry so long that that's all he can be now.
Oh, what a horrible life. Get some help, my guy. Get some help. Whoever you got a problem with, talk it out.
Yeah, but yeah, okay, so transport, let's see. Okay, so, like, as grungy and terrible as the season 1 world is, getting to see things turning into meat with eyes and stuff could be weird and crazy, and...
It's a nightmare, but it's also a fantasy.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, okay, so season 2... I guess living in Mykonos wouldn't be as bad. Like, I don't know that I'd want to be in the Tiger Mountains or in the Ragged Woods.
Right.
Or the Cascades.
But Mykonos is, like, not any bad.
Yeah, I mean, Mykonos, it's kind of just like a city, and there's, like, a murder spree going on, but aside from that, things are just kind of normal.
I've always had like an aspiration to write like a noir style story about like that detective or whatever they were supposed to meet like in Mykonos, and kind of like cast out or like write fiction about how he died.
Yeah, like Austin said, there was a whole story. We'll have to ask Austin sometime because he said there was like a whole planned story arc thing that was happening there that would have happened if they had gotten there before he got killed.
Right.
But he didn't.
It's just so ambiguous about how he got killed. I wonder if he got like murdered by what's her face? Jane? Or no, not Jane.
Jem?
Jem, yeah. I wonder if like he was just like kind of like casing her out and she just fucking ganked him.
Yeah, and like Swift Justice he was there to fight off the Blackhearts when they tried to steal from the temple, but then was locked up by the time the party got there.
Yeah.
So someone saw Swift Justice as a problem and threw him in the cell.
Yeah, I think what was it? He just got like busted up and he was like a malfunctioning robot because I don't know if how that works. Like maybe it was because he failed his duty or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's been a while since I've heard it, so I don't remember how he ended up in that cell or what condition he was in there.
Right.
Yeah, and I get okay. So season 3. No, I don't think any of their... well, okay, now the more that I think about it, none of the Dice Funk seasons would be a pleasant place to live.
No.
I mean, you either got the world's being destroyed by a stone monster, or the world is drowning, or you're trapped either in jail or outside of jail where all the vampires are. Or you're in shitty capitalism world.
we're in the hyper capitalism, like, dystopian future that we are slowly but surely slipping into in the real world.
Yeah, like the current new season is, like, the most familiar, but that doesn't mean it would be a great place to live either.
It was like, okay, so like the Adventure Zone just got done with like a short arc about like West Virginia, and you could tell that like all the people like that were involved, like they're from West Virginia, so it was kind of like a love story to West Virginia in a sense. Season 4 of Dice Funk is like Austin Yorsky like hate fucking current society.
Yeah, and actually speaking of Adventure Zone, like I'm pretty excited for the way Dust is going.
Yeah, Dust is really interesting. I wasn't really sold on Dust until like the last 2 minutes of like the primer episode where like Travis like got like in that southern accent and like was just like, you got 8 hours to figure out this crime.
Yeah.
Good luck. I was like, all right, I'm fucking sold. Let's do this.
Yeah. Like in the first episode, you get this whole kind of Majora's Mask thing going on where it's like things are happening in real time or real-ish time. And so it's like, it's midnight, most people are asleep, some people aren't, you go talk to them, but when it becomes morning and people find out that this murder happened, shit's gonna hit the fan, so...
Yeah, it's all about to fucking go down.
Yeah, so it's like, you gotta start gathering the clues as fast as you can and figure this thing out.
It's a really interesting way to tell a mystery.
Yeah.
A murder mystery.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, you don't have unlimited time, and people are going to keep reacting to this thing as it's going on.
I'm really I have to say, like, the least interesting character, in my opinion, is definitely Griffin's character. Unfortunately. Just because he kind of wears his, like, whole, like, deal on his sleeve already, that he's just half werewolf all the time.
Yeah, and, like the way his character talks doesn't really feel like the way... when he was describing the character as being, like, this, political guy and stuff. Yeah. Like, I don't really feel that in the way he's acting the character.
Yeah, that's fair. It just, like, I hope it kind of evolves. Like, I hope he becomes, like, a little bit more interesting. But, like, other than that, like, definitely Justin, like,
oh, as the ghost?
Like, the ghost is really good. And then, like, Clint McElroy as Gandy Dancer is, like, really good, too. The fucking voice Travis puts on for, like, the fucking haunted doll haunts my dreams. It really does. I have problems. Never again.
Yeah, I need to listen to that one again, because that's good. Actually, I think that the new episode either just went up, or I saw some tweet about Adventure Zone, so I gotta see if that's up. Yeah, but I guess Dice Funk, because he also asked, like, how would you contribute to the party? I mean, I guess the best I could do is just follow them around and write stories about them. Like, because I'm entering the story as me. I mean, I'm not a skilled fighter or anything, so
I guess I could just strap on those rollerblades and be like a funky bard, implying that I'm that good of a musician to like somehow like manipulate the weave to inspire people.
Yeah, I guess if you are in D&D world, you'd have access to that. But yeah, so we're at 2 hours, so we'll have to be wrapping this up. So thank you for joining me. I think we got a pretty good episode here.
Definitely, it was I'm really happy to finally like come back on and like everything that entails.
Yep. So until so I'll announce it now. Although I'll announce it again on the thread probably. The next guest, I finally got Ruby to come do this thing. So
that's such a great get.
Yep. So
I'm definitely excited.
Send your questions, and until next time, stay funky.
Goodbye.